I'm Bill Ramey, CEO of TBM Consulting Group. As you know, recently we published an article talking about 5 strategies for creating agility and responsiveness in your business in 2024. Today, we have David Pate of our U.S. consulting business here to talk to us about strategy number 2 of finding productivity in the business. Welcome, David.
Good morning, Bill.
Morning. So when we think about productivity in the business, how do we help our teams find productivity and assess the impact on the business overall?
You know, how we approach this with our clients, Bill, is we use a diagnostic process where we dig into at a high level into the financials, into the operational information, and then we dig into the details at the point of impact on the shop floor, in the distribution centers, or wherever that value is located. And, you know, with our expertise, with the data that we've been pre-armed with, and talking with associates, we're able to understand what the issues are that is impacting the results that you're having, and start to define what's causing those issues and start making a plan for what we might ought to do about it. But I think, you know, some of the key things is operational and financial data, coupled with engagement of employees at the point of impact, along with our expertise that we've gained through many years of operations experience.
Thank you, David. So as we've done this, in your experience, do we typically see certain types of opportunities that yield better improvements than others?
Bill, I think it depends a lot on the industry. Process manufacturing versus discrete manufacturing can, you know, very different types of problems that they have. But generally speaking, anything that we can do to help increase revenue at the same conversion cost, freeing up capacity, things like that, you know, that revenue falls straight through margin to the bottom line at EBITDA. And those tend to be our biggest impacts. So freeing up capacity would be big. The other thing is most industries, the material costs are higher than labor cost or other costs they may have. So things that we do to improve yield or quality improvements in component usage, things like that, also tend to have really large impacts.
I agree. I mean, and the industries are very different where we find the opportunities. But what's probably common is, how do we think about helping the management teams once they've identified the opportunities, they've captured some of it? How do they think about sustaining it so they don't lose ground?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest challenges as I speak with people in industry. We had a lean journey, or we had a Six Sigma journey, or we made many improvements. We grabbed their brass ring, if you will. But then, things happened that we didn't sustain those. And there's a lot of reasons for that. But I think about, what leadership teams can do to ensure that they have a sustainable process that then converts over time into habits and a culture change, is that they need to do 3 key things. One, they need to have a system. They need to have a process. Whether we call that a management system, we call it an operating system, we call it a governance process, they need to have a system to measure that. They need to have metrics or KPIs around not only the results, but also the things that are going to drive those results. Leading indicators, and those leading indicators need to measure activity and audits, measure behaviors and activities that people are doing, as well as what the end results are. And lastly, they need to develop people. Leadership in particular at all levels, and especially at the frontline leadership level. We see clients all the time, and supervisors are great people, but they've got into those roles because they were operators or they were successful in other parts of the business, and now they're in a leadership role. They don't really know how to do that. So a good structure of management or operating system, KPIs that measure not only lagging indicators, the results we want to have, but also leading indicators, including behaviors and actions, and then developing people and creating capability. And I think about those things as a 3-legged stool. You got to have all 3, or it doesn't work.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that's great, David. Thanks so much for visiting with us today.
You're welcome.
To all our listeners, we'll be following up with subsequent parts. I believe our next part will be how to focus on our people. So thanks for joining and look forward to talking to you next time.